Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We shall first chant the meditation verses on Bhagavad Gita and then proceed to investigate the wonderful teachings of Sri Krishna. Om Parthaya Pratibodhita Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puradamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We were studying the 21st verse of the second chapter. Veda vinashinam nityam ya enamajamavyayam katham sa purushaha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So we shall chant that verse and then go to further deeper study of the same verse. We have already studied this verse past 2 or 3 classes. We are yet to finish this study because it is very interesting. So we shall chant the verse and go to study it. Veda vinashinam nityam Veda vinashinam nityam Ya enamajamavyayam Ya enamajamavyayam Katham sa purushaha partha Katham sa purushaha partha Kam ghatayati hantikam. Kam ghatayati hantikam. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, O Arjuna, the person who cognizes or one who knows Veda, one who knows, one who learns about the Atman, which is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and changeless. If we know, then we are not going to commit mistake or sins in this life or world. How can the person who knows that his Atman and the Atman which is present within everyone is indestructible, eternal, unborn, how can he slay? How can he kill Partha or cause another to slay? That is the simple meaning of this verse. So as we have studied from the earlier classes that our true nature, Atman, is not the agent, actionless. Then we see that we are performing all the type of action, we are thinking, we are doing, we are desiring, so many actions are going on. It is just by the presence or witness of the Atman, all these things are happening. As Master has given the example in the Gospel, just by the presence of the fire underneath the vessel, the vegetables and the water in the vessel will be jumping up and down, each vegetable claiming, I am great, I am great, I am going up, and it comes down again. But the vegetables do not know that it is because of the fire that all this is happening, the heat of the fire. Likewise, we all are performing all this action, everything, not by our strength. Even the sun shines because of this Atman, your Atman. See how great we are. We think due to sun we are living. But the Atman which is within us, or the Parabrahman, is the one which gives light even to the sun and every other stars or everything. So that is the greatness of your Atman. So if you know that you are so great, suppose a person who was a beggar, a slum dweller, a loafer. What is meant by loafer? People should think generally the term loafer means they will get some sort of a very wrong meaning. Loafer means one who will be loafing around aimlessly here and there. Aimlessly, if somebody wanders here and there, loafs here and there, such a person aimlessly loafing here and there is called loafer. That's all. So, even such a person, suppose a poor man or a very beggar or somebody, he comes to know suddenly he was the son of an emperor, and by mistake or due to some reason he has become a beggar. The moment now he comes to know that he is the son of an emperor, he will reclaim his emperorship greatness. Then will he still behave like a beggar? Will he still behave like a vagabond or a loafer? No. Then automatically his behavior will change. His nature will change. Why? He has come to know that I am the son of an emperor. Likewise, here Krishna is telling, if you come to know about the greatness of the Atman, that you are the Atman, your true nature is Atman, and these are the greatness, qualities of the Atman, then automatically, even though you may be poor, you may be uneducated, if you are educated, if you are great, if you are a saint, wonderful. But even a person, that's why Swami Vivekananda used to tell, give them that idea you are the Atman. Then a shoe black, who is the person who is a shoe black? In olden days, they used to wear these black shoes. So these boys, poor boys would be there, sitting with the brush and the polish, and they used to polish the boots, the black shoes. So they were called shoe black. So even the shoe black will polish the boots very nicely. The sweeper will become a very good sweeper. A cook will become a better cook. Everybody will become better if he comes to know that he is an Atman. That's why here Krishna is telling Veda, come to know about your greatness. So here from the perspective of war, because here Kshatriya, Arjuna is a Kshatriya. So Atman is not an agent, it is actionless. That is, you are not committing any sin. So that's why in some of the scriptures, I should not name the scriptures even then. Suppose in Bible or something, Ramakrishna used to tell. Why is it always telling in the Bible that you are a sinner, you are a sinner, you are a sinner? Other scriptures, they will be always telling you are a sinner, you are a sinner. No. You cannot perform any action. Where can you commit sins? You are the Atman. Identify with that great thing. You are not the sinner. You have no sin in you. So Ramakrishna used to always tell, if you always think you are good, you are pure, you will become that. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. If you always think I am bad, I am negative, I am very, I have that bad thoughts, I am impure, you will become that. So why do you want to become this? Think that you are great, you are the Atman, then all that qualities will start coming to you. You will become great. So that is the idea here. No, O Arjuna. So when you know that Atman is actionless, the knower of Atman is free from egoism. Then you cannot get egotistic. We commit all the bad things when egoism is raising our head. Then we do all the mistakes. So here, the knower of Atman, or when you come to know that you are the Atman, you are free from egoism. Therefore, the feeling of agency is not in that person. Karma does not for that reason taint him, whether good or bad, whether sin or punya, will not touch him. Because he is the Atman. Slaying and causing to slay are apparently terrible sinful action. But because of the absence of egoism in an enlightened person, even if you by chance, as I told you earlier, after knowing your true nature, even perchance if you commit sin, even such evil actions will not tarnish you, will not touch you. As I've given you earlier the example of the Dharma Vyadha, the butcher. He was doing the work of butchery, killing the animals and selling it. But the sin didn't taint him. Why? Because he had realized the Atman. He did it as an action. Every action of his, he offered it to God. And he was not attached to that action. So he was a great Atma Gnani. And whatever knowledge he gave to that yogi is recorded as, just like Bhagavad Gita, Vyadha Gita. So that we have learnt earlier. So even such evil actions will not tarnish you. An aspirant tries to be free from egoism while discharging his duty. Let us now go to Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, where Sri Ramakrishna gives one incident and proves something special here. What is that? Absorbed as a saint was, he was passing along a crowded street. Then, by chance, he trampled upon the foot of a wicked person. That ruffian, because of egoism, that ruffian became enraged and recklessly assaulted this holy man. bet him up black and blue until he fainted. The saint fainted and fell down. He was forthwith carried to the ashram and tenderly nursed by his disciples. When he was slowly regaining his consciousness, he was asked if he could recognize the one attending on him. Because when somebody become unconscious and they are slowly opening their eyes, what will you see? Can you recognize me? They will not ask about his welfare. They will be asking whether you can recognize me. Because the moment anybody is unconscious, when they come back to conscious, they will tell, what is this, what is this, what is this? They will be asking, testing them. So they will be, can you recognize me? So now like this saint who was getting the consciousness is being questioned. What is he being questioned? Now who is nursing you in the ashram? Because he is slowly opening his eyes. Tenderly the disciples were nursing. So he regained consciousness. He was asked if he could recognize the one attending on him. Do you know what was the reply of that saint? The hand that beat up this body is nursing it now. The same hand which beat me up there is the same hand which is nursing me now. He didn't know the difference. See, what a beautiful idea. The same hand which beat me up there is now nursing me. Came the reply. The knower of Atman or Brahman distinguishes not the assaulter from the assaulted. When the same thing happened with Swami Vivekananda. When he was about to, or almost in the verge of finishing his lecture, somewhere in America or England, I forget the place, but let us not be worried about the place, but the theme of it. What happened? One person who worked in India as a British military officer, somehow he had some hatred towards the people with whom he worked in India. So he had come to the lecture, and in between he started abusing and scolding and using all the bad words against Swami Vivekananda and his teaching. Swami Vivekananda was just smiling. He didn't even respond. He was just smiling at him. After all scoldings and everything, he got tired and he became upset himself. And he just walked out. Then all the Europeans, disciples and other people who were there, they protested. Swamiji, at least when he was telling so many bad things, you could have protested or told something. Whatever he told was wrong. Why didn't you tell anything? You were just keeping quiet and laughing and smiling. And Swamiji told, my mind was in such a great height, I couldn't differentiate or I couldn't understand who was scolding and whom was he scolding. Who was scolding or using those filthy words or criticizing, and I could not know whom he was criticizing. My mind was in such a high state. I was seeing only the Atman or the Paramatman everywhere, in him and in myself too. I couldn't differentiate and I couldn't know who was scolding and whom he was scolding. Then how can I retort back or protest against him? So I was just smiling. I'll give you another example. What was that? One great knower of Brahman who had realized God, he was living like a beggar, unnoticed, because they don't want people to come them and disturb them. So they live like madmen, going here and there begging. So this great realized soul, who was earlier a great knower of Vishnu, devotee of Lord Vishnu, now he was behaving, acting acting like a madman. Because they don't want the people should come and know their greatness, and afterwards these people will come to them not for the knowledge, but for money, cure the disease, do that, do this. We want children, we want house, we want lottery ticket. So they will come and please them for these things. So that's why they will feel like the madmen and they will be in their own world. So this knower of Brahman was just in his own world, and he came, he saw there was a dog, because he was hungry. A dog was eating from the leftover. Say in India, they will put all the food, suppose hundreds of people have taken some food in a marriage or some other program, then so much will be wasted. All the leftover food material will become and thrown out, so that the dog and the cows will eat it from the leaf plate. So one dog was eating there. The realized soul who had realized the Atman, God everywhere, he sat with this dog and he was eating from the same plate with the dog. He was eating it. He was sitting on the dog and eating. The dog never protested. You know, if the dog is eating something and another dog comes or somebody wants to take it away, what will be the reaction of the dog? It will immediately bite or try to attack, because it doesn't want to give away. But because he was in that high state of the realization of Atman, the great devotee, he was sitting on this dog and eating with the dog from that leaf thrown over leaf plate, and the dog was also cooperating with him and very nicely eating with that person. Now, looking at it, a decent man who was walking, looking at this madman, he doesn't know the greatness of this madman, sitting with the dog and eating, he laughed at it. He just started derisively was laughing at him. Haha, see, if you see a madman or something happening, you laugh at them. So he started laughing. Then this great soul started composing a poetry in Sanskrit. The meaning of it is, when Vishnu was sitting on Vishnu and eating Vishnu, another Vishnu looked at this Vishnu and was laughing. When one Vishnu was sitting on another Vishnu, eating Vishnu, another Vishnu looked at this Vishnu and was laughing. Can you feel this? The height of realization. How joyful, just to hear that itself fills our mind with so much of bliss. Then if they have realized it, and if you come to know that you are the Atman, you are the Parabrahman, what would be the intensity of joy? So now, that is what here, if you know that you are the Atman, then you can't harm others, even though, suppose as that butcher, Dharmavyada, or a Kshatriya who has to do his duty, protect his country, then he will take the arms. He will just you identify with your Atman and go and do your duty. Then, even by chance something happens, if you kill somebody, well, that sin will not touch you. That is what I'm trying to tell you, and connecting it to our life. So without connecting these truths to our life, all our study will be a waste. It will be just intellectual gymnastics, or you will get some intellectual joy, that's all. So now we will still go deeper into this aspect of teachings of Krishna with the help of that great soul who was the president of our order, Revered Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj. He's telling how to use this while working at home or in an office or a factory, and in all interhuman relationship, we can slowly realize this profound truth. So when you start feeling that you are the Atman, then you can't see somebody else in your interpersonal relationship with other people, when we are dealing with others, when we are working with others, whether you are working at home or in the office or in the factory, so the interpersonal relationship will start automatically improving everywhere. You can't see the difference then. Though in the beginning it will be difficult, slowly, gradually you will see the change coming over you. We can slowly realize this profound truth. So that is what Krishna is telling. Veda, Arjuna, Veda avinashinam nityam ena majamavyayam katham sa purushav partha kham gatayati hantikam. How can such a person hurt others or trouble others? Can't. So that's why know your true self. Know that you are the Atman. So this is how life has to be lived. Otherwise, the life which we are living without the realization of our true nature, as Ishavasya Upanishad is telling, every moment we are living, every second we are living without knowing our true self or realizing God is like committing suicide. The Atmahan. The Atmahananokaraha. Ishavasya Upanishad tells that. So on the contrary, this is how life has to be lived. A complete philosophy of life will include parak and pratyak dimension of nature. Nature has two dimensions. What is parak? The external. And what is pratyak? Internal. The internal nature is your Atman. They're not separate. Even the Prakriti, all the dead material, insentient, everything is the same Atman. There's no difference. The internal and the external dimension. In Sanskrit, it is called Parak and Pratyak. We shall handle the world outside. We are all trying to handle the world outside. But we shall, through that handling itself, also realize our true nature. It is just like, now there is a proverb in one of the Indian language. What is that? Now, Kayi tappidaga Krishnarpana. What is that? Now, one lady of the house in India, they generally, when the milkman gives the milk, the lady will take it and boil it. It has to be pasteurized, boiled to kill the bacteria and virus. Then after that, they will use it for many other purposes. But first, the moment the milk comes, you have to boil it. That is the tradition. But here in the Western country, already pasteurized milk comes. So you don't boil it or do something. But India, they have to boil it and it will come up like this, coming up of the vessel. So this lady kept this for boiling. It will take at least 5 or 10 minutes. Why to waste the time? So she went to the next door neighbor, and standing near the compound, started chit-chatting about all the worldly matters, everything. That person ran away, it seems this person, this did that thing, it seems. Spreading rumors, all the rumors will be spread. Recently, in our this thing, somebody spread that somebody was hospitalized. They spread the rumor that person died. We are getting the news suddenly that person, so that rumors mongering will be there. So now this lady started talking. So while talking, two ladies, if they meet and start talking, they forget the world. Why ladies? Everybody will do that, but generally here. So then she forgot. She has kept the milk to boil there. So will the fire wait or the heat there wait? The milk started coming up, bubbling up, boiling up. So when it is coming up, the milk, it makes the sound. Sounded with that sound, and that smell came to her. Oh, I've forgotten. She stopped. Excuse me, came running. But the milk will not wait. What happens? It was about to fall down. Anyhow, that will fall down. Once the milk comes down, falls on the ground, it's wasted. You can't use it. So how much of milk? 1 liter of milk is so costly. Hard-earned money. It should not be wasted. What to do? So immediately something flashed in her head. So it was about to fall down. Before it touches the ground, somehow I have to make use of it. So what should you do? Immediately she was a devotee of Krishna. Krishna Arpanamastu, Krishna Arpanamastu, she told. I'm offering this milk to Lord Krishna. She offered it to Krishna. At least anyhow it will be wasted. We can't eat it, drink it. So now I will offer it to God. I got the punya of offering the Lord. Anyhow, we were not going to offer it, keep it separately for God because we are so selfish and we don't want to do all that thing. Now, because it is being wasted, she wanted to make use of it. At least now if I offer it to God, that much of punya, merit I am going to get. So she started shouting, Krishna Arpanamastu, great devotee, like a great devotee, Krishna Arpanamastu, Krishna Arpanamastu. Yes, though it is a funny proverb, but now let us turn it to our life. What are we doing every day? We have to work, we have to serve the husband or the wife or the children or the father and the mother. And every work you have to go to the boss, you have to serve the boss for the money, you have to go there, everywhere you have to do the work. You can't escape. So you are wasting your energy. Now, instead of wasting all the work you are doing, if you just give it a twist, then that will become punya karya. How? Offer everything to God. Anyhow, you are wasting it. Every work you do, you are now wasting it. Just like that lady did it. It was about to fall down on waste. Now grumblingly you serve your husband, grumblingly you serve your wife, grumblingly you serve your children, grumblingly you are serving your parents and the boss and fighting inside. Outside you will be smiling, inside you will be all anger and cursings. So now we are wasting so much of energy 24/7. So now just give a twist and offer everything. Krishna Arpanamastu, Ramakrishna Arpanamastu, Shiva Arpanamastu. Then that which you are wasting every second, every inch of your work, if you offer it to God, it will, that very work which was wasted will take you to your goal of realization. See how easy? That is what, by knowing the truth, you can do that. It's so easy. You need not pay any money. You need not go to the special personality development class paying so many dollars. Free of cost, Lord Krishna is giving you. Why can't you do anything free? You will not value it. Only when you give money, dollars together, then you will start going and doing some kriya you have to be taught. Now Lord Krishna is giving you this wonderful technique, free of cost. Only thing is, Veda avinashinam nityam. Now, here we shall, through that handling, also realize our true nature. That is what Vivekananda has made that wonderful motto or that inspirational word for our organization. What is that? I have told you earlier. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya cha. We come and do the service in the shrine or in the kitchen, or we go to the nutrition, help the poor people. All the work, what are we doing for? As a social service, for name and fame, or to get certificate 18A, or to get some tax exemption, or to show it to the people. Yes, whatever you might do. But all the work, don't do it as a social service. Use it for the Atmano Mokshartam, for your development of your spirituality. So there is intense selfishness, intense unselfishness combined together. If your mind asks, why should I do all this good work to them? Because you will be intensely rewarded with that. The highest you are going to get. That is Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya Cha. Swa Uddhar. Swayam Uddhar karna. कैसे? जगत उद्धार करके. जगत उद्धार से, जगत कल्याण करके स्व उद्धार करना. Both are happening together. So We have to learn that. If you learn your true nature, then we shall handle the world outside. But we shall, through that handling, also realize our true nature. Now, this orientation through Sri Krishna's own original contribution will come to you after the 38th verse of this chapter itself. Until now, Lord Krishna is giving you, this chapter is called second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, Gnana Yoga. So, now at the end, he will summarize this, how to make use of this knowledge in your day-to-day life. So after the 38th verse, you will get it. Here only the first idea, now what we learnt about your true nature, the Gnana Yoga, the ideas of Gnana Path are being given. The path of self-realization is being given. Sri Krishna wanted Arjuna's action to be based on this knowledge. But based on this knowledge, our tendency is not to act. When we learn this, what do? Oh, we are Atman, we are actionless, we are agent, we are not going to get anything, so why should we act? We will keep quiet, let the world go to dogs, let the war be there, somebody die, let the tornado come and somebody die. Why should I think I am the Atman? I will think and I meditate on myself. So the tendency automatically to become selfish will become dry. That is the wrong direction you will go. So just simply learning Gnana Yoga will push you to do these things. That's why Krishna is giving us the right orientation. The impression that you get is, so Sri Krishna could not influence Arjuna to face the battle in front basing upon this teaching alone. This teaching makes you feel like you are an ascetic. Okay? Sannyasins can take this and practice it. But what about householders? We have to do the work. We have to earn the money. So shall we now think that, oh, everything is Atman? In India, there is a saying that is called Punjabi Vedanta. It's not a criticism of any state or anything. In India, it is called as Punjabi Vedanta. What is this Punjabi Vedanta? Just bereft of bhakti, devotion, bereft of karma yoga, thinking all, just learn Vedanta, you become very dry. How? So what is this Punjabi Vedanta? So now one person will go, he will tell, oh, you have a lot of money in your pocket. Yes, I have a lot of money in my pocket. You are Atman, I am also Atman. Yes, that is true. Then what is the difference? The money which you are in the pocket, if it come to my pocket, it is the same. So I will take that. So that is called Punjabi Vedanta. So you can't use Vedanta for this purpose. So not in this way. That is the wrong way of doing it. So the worldly people in the world who are earning money should not get that wrong idea. So that orientation should be correct. So now this teaching will make you feel like an ascetic. That is why this Gnana Marga based on neti neti, not this, not this. This world is Maya. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Let me realize my immortal soul, eternal dimension of Atman, act on the minds of the people, and that will tend to make them selfish. It will make us selfish. Now, Arjuna was not convinced through this philosophy that he should act, that he should face the challenges of life. So, I will run away from this world like an ascetic. No. Much better to go into a quiet corner and discover one's own true nature. But it is being presented here first by Krishna before he formulates his own more comprehensive spirituality based on men and women at work. It should be for everybody, for the common mass who are working, not for the ascetics, not for the saints. Because, see, a person who is already getting 99% marks, what is the use of your tuition and all the learning? They can study themselves and get 100% or 99%. The teacher or the lecturer or the tuition should be given to the students who are failing, who are getting 40%, 50% marks, who are struggling to study. They need it. The 99% scoring person, for him to get 1 more percent is not at all a difficult task. He doesn't need your coaching at all. Then what is that which you have done? So that is the place here Krishna's teaching comes. And now the twist you can see. But here, instead of that being hard-hearted and ascetic type or dry, now the Sri Krishna's philosophy here has 2 dimensions of spirituality. Spirituality of work and spirituality of meditation. Both are combined into a comprehensive spirituality. That message will begin from the middle of this chapter. But before that, Lord Krishna is expounding this path of knowledge, Gnana, Sankhya Yoga, to show what is your true nature. He doesn't end there, but he will proceed further how to combine this, make it a active spiritual life with work. That message will begin from middle of this chapter. But before that, he is expounding this path of Gnana, which he will refer to in the last verse in the Sankhya Yoga. In India, we have seen from the last 1000 years, Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj is telling, this Gnana Marga could not be digested properly by our people. Only its negative aspect were emphasized. ये दुनिया माया है, छोड़ दो उसको, ये सब माया है. So मायावाद शुरू हो गया. So that for thousands of years this has been practiced. That made our people self-centered, quite not interested in whatever may be happening in the world outside. A certain amount of callousness developed because we did not have the spiritual strength to digest this profound philosophy. And very often people became dry and lazy. We never understood the next section of the 2nd chapter called Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. But now a healthy understanding of the Bhagavad Gita's message of practical Vedanta is coming. That is the great contribution of Swami Vivekananda. So, very nicely Swami Vivekananda has brought out what Krishna wants to teach us to this modern age, that laziness thing is taken out and it has been made so practical by Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna. So, the presentation of a comprehensive spirituality of the Bhagavad Gita. Nobody needs say, I'm a wealthy person. Whether you are working or dealing with the world in various ways, you are never worldly. So, nobody needs say, I am a worldly person. Worldly person. Why? Whether you are working or dealing with the world in various ways, you are never worldly. You are in the world, but you are not worldly. Can you remember something in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? Ramakrishna tells, yes, the boat should be in the water, but the water should not enter the boat. You can be in the world, but the world should not enter you. You should not become worldly. To expound that, Ramakrishna gives this example. The boat should be in the water, can be in the water, but the water should not enter the boat. If the water enters the boat, what happens? The boat will sink. So you can be in the world, but the world should not enter you. If you become worldly, you will sink. So how to do that? By knowing your true nature and practicing that truth in every step of your life. Now, you are never worldly. You are in the world, but you are not worldly. You have some sense of your own spiritual nature. You are strengthening it day by day. So, it is all spirituality throughout. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, I do not call a man or a woman a Hindu if he or she is not spiritual. We are just ritualistic. Most of us Hindu, what we do is we become ritualistic. Go, sit, light the fire, put the samagri, that's all. There ends the matter. Go to the temple, eat the prasad, see the deity, do the pranam, come. Do some chanting, come. So Vivekananda is telling, I do not call a man or a woman a Hindu if he or she is not spiritual. Our spirituality is pervasive. One need not go to Uttarkashi or Haridwar or Rishikesh or Himalayas to become spiritual. Not at all. If you go, well and good, that is good. But how many can go there? Common man cannot go. So then what is the way out? One need not go to Haridwar or Uttarkashi, Rishikesh to become spiritual. Not at all. You should be spiritual at home and at your workplace. Not only should we become spiritual when I go to Himalaya or Haridwar or to the temple. You have to build a temple in your own heart. Your body should become a temple. You should become a mobile temple. You should become a walking temple. You are spiritual at home, at your workplace. Why? Because spirituality is your birthright. How? Vivekananda tells each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest it. Each soul, every one of you is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity, says Vivekananda. Everyone has just to recognize it and try to live it in whatever measure one can. This is what Sri Krishna is going to tell one and all in the middle of the second chapter. So later on we will go to that and see, but now we will take up another thing. How to make it practical. How can we combine this thing in our life? Last time I told I will give one example. Last class I gave one example of, what was that? Ramana Maharshi, the child wanted to know about meditation and the dosa, eating, all that thing. I gave the example, if you remember, how to combine that meditation as well as while you are doing your work and all the time, how to be aware that you are the Atman, you are the Parabrahman, your true nature. I gave that example of Ramana Maharshi. Similar example I am going to give you now, because until we make it practical in our day-to-day life, it will not make much impact on us. That's why. So this was told by one. Now this Swamiji is still living in Mangalore. He is the head of Mangalore. His name is Swami Jitakamanandaji Maharaj. So he wrote this article in one of our magazines called Vedanta Kesari. And what is the name of that article? Has Sri Krishna made a mistake? What a peculiar name. Has Krishna made a mistake? Now Swami Jitakamanandaji is telling, I joined the Ramakrishna order at Thrissur in Kerala in 1973. Though I was from Karnataka, the main reason for joining there was the presence of one great soul called Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj. So, though that Swamiji Jitakamanandaji, when as a brahmachari, he was from Karnataka, he went and joined in Kerala, in Thrissur, because he wanted the satsanga, the company of this great soul called Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj, because he was a great soul who was leading a retired life there. A few months after the joining, one afternoon, I approached this great Swamiji, Ishwaranandaji, with a doubt. What was the doubt? Swamiji, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha to Arjuna. What is the meaning of that? Oh, Arjuna, meditate on me, think of me at all times and fight. Fight means do your duty. Ma manusmara yudhyacha. Think of me at all times and do your duty. Think of me at all times and fight. This is confusing me, Swamiji. How? What is the confusion? This brahmachari is asking, who will become Jitakamanandaji, he is asking to Ishwaranandaji. We are told to concentrate on one thing at a time. But here, Lord Krishna is asking to do two things at the same time. How? He is telling, remember me and then fight. The two things. How can I remember and how can I fight, do my duty? How can I combine two? That's my confusion. After presenting my doubt before Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj, I also foolishly declared, it seems that Krishna has committed a mistake. It seems it's a mistake. Then Ishwaranandaji Maharaj, the great soul, looked at me with eyes wide open and smiled and said, oh, Krishna has made a mistake according to you, is it? Embarrassed, I haltingly replied, no, Maharaj. I didn't mean that. I do not understand. How is it possible? Now, Swamiji didn't answer immediately. This was the style of the old rishis and the old people in India. What is that? They will give some project work to do. Then they will not answer. They will do something at another time. They will answer it. What did he? Now Swamiji didn't answer him. What did he do? What did he tell? Pointing to the small hall where he was sitting, Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj asked me, see, it's not clean. Can you clean it? Yes, Swamiji. When shall I do it? I asked. Now, if you're free, go and clean it. I went out thinking Swamiji might have been displeased with my foolish remark on Lord Krishna finding fault with him, and hence he did not answer my question. So he has given me some punishment or something like that. I came back with a broom, mopping cloth, and a small bucket of water and started cleaning the room. In the meantime, Maharaj had gone out for a walk. So he had asked me to clean it every day, maybe for a month or something. So he would go out for a walk. Similarly, I had to clean the room the next day and the next day. On the fourth day, when I was cleaning the room, that small hall, Swami Ishwaranandaji was walking in the corridor outside the room. Soon I noticed that every time he came near the hall, he paused at the door for a few seconds without entering the hall. Though I didn't turn around to look at him, I felt that on walking every round across the corridor, he was observing me cleaning the hall. This made me a little self-conscious of my work, and I gave more attention to the cleaning. Now, earlier I was cleaning in a very ordinary way, but when I felt that he is observing me, I gave more effort to my work. Then I started cleaning even the window sill, the tabletop, and the leg of the table. Extra work I started doing. The next day also the same thing happened. That is the fifth day, the same thing played out. Because Swamiji is coming and he is walking, I am feeling that he is observing me. So I am doing the extra cleaning and doing very good cleaning. But when he was not observing me, I was doing very ordinarily. Maharaj would pause at the door every now and then, and I also cleaned with full attention. But as I finished cleaning the day, Maharaj came inside, looked around and asked, my dear child, yesterday and today I have noticed there is a difference in the level of your cleaning. The window seals are cleaner, All the corners are cleaner. The table is cleaner. What happened? The first 2-3 days it was not so clean. How is that now suddenly all things change? What happened? Then the brahmachari himself replied. I then replied, Maharaj, I felt that you were watching me every time you came walking this side of the corridor. So I put more effort and attention in cleaning so that I can please you. I was walking outside. Did I come in and stand in front of you, watching you or asking you to clean nicely? Asked Swami Ishwaranandaji. I was just walking outside. I never came inside. I never watched your work. I didn't ask you to clean in a neat way. I was just walking and watching you, that's all. I never told you anything. Then, Revered Maharaj, though you were not here in the hall looking at me or visible to me, there was a feeling in me that you were observing my cleaning. With a gentle smile, Ishwaranandaji Maharaj said, yes, similarly, God is always watching you. How to take it into this Atman? Atman, your consciousness is always conscious of what you are doing always. It is the witness, eternal witness within you, watching you, Antaryamin. The Lord is always watching you. If you come to know you are the Atman, Atman is always watching you, then what will be the change? Every work of you will increase in its quality. If you are aware of the Atman, of your true nature, then can you kill? Can you make others kill? Can you do dirty works? Can you do imperfect work? No. See, what a wonderful thing. So simply, in a so simple way. See, that's why the great souls have this great nature. Teaching them, giving some project work. And now that Swamiji couldn't forget this for his life, which happened in 1973. He wrote this article in 2020. He couldn't forget it. Why? It was given by that great soul in such a way. Similarly, remember that God is always watching you. Even though He may not be visible to your eyes. The Atman may not be visible to your eyes, or God may not be visible to your eyes. If you have this feeling that He is watching, your work also become perfect. Remembrance and work can go together. Ma manusmara yudhyacha. That is what Krishna is telling. Always remember me and fight. Fight means do your duty. Feel my presence. God may not be seen to you, but can you escape from the witness of God? So, think of me at all times and fight. Do you understand now the words of Lord Sri Krishna? Did Lord Sri Krishna make a mistake by telling this? Then that Swamiji is telling, a new light flashed in my intelligence. Then further, Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj asked me, do you know the story of the great saint Kanakadasa from Karnataka? Though I knew it, because everybody in that state will be knowing about that story of that great Kanakadasa. Though I knew it, I told I do not know, because I wanted to hear it from that great soul. What is it, Swamiji? Please tell me, Maharaj. Then that Swamiji related that well-known story. Kanakadasa, a shepherd boy, was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. He was accepted as a disciple by Sri Vyasaraya, who was the pontiff or the head of the Madhva Pita. Very orthodox. They don't allow anybody to come nearby of the other caste. So such was the orthodoxy. But because of the greatness of this disciple, Though he was from a very lower caste, shepherd caste, he was allowed to become his disciple. He was accepted as the disciple of Sri Vyasaraya. The other orthodox disciple did not like their guru giving so much attention and love to this low caste man, uneducated, this shepherd boy. Now the guru, to show them the greatness of this Kanakadasa, once this guru Vyasaraya Swami gave them all the offered banana which was offered to Krishna on Ekadashi. They had to do fasting. The next day is Dwadashi. On that day, they have to break their fast taking the prasad. That is called Dwadashi Parane. That is also compulsory, just like they do Upavasa on Ekadashi. So he gave this offered banana to all of his disciples and asked them to eat it secretly at a place where nobody was watching you or seeing you. The next day, all the disciples who were envious and jealousy, thinking that they are superior in caste, they went to different places and emptied the banana even with the peel and came back. And each one was telling, narrating how secretly he ate. One told, I entered into the chimney above and nobody was watching. It was dark. I ate the banana there. Another, I covered myself with the blanket and I ate it. Nobody was watching me. Another person, I went under the cot. Nobody was watching me. Another person, I went behind the door. Another, so I dipped myself into the water. And in the water I ate it. Nobody was watching. But Kanakadasa came back with the banana he had not eaten. Hare, you should eat the prasad. Dwadashi Parana is very important. Why didn't you not eat the prasad, Kanaka? Kanaka came back with the banana while other disciples were laughing at him. The Guru asked this disciple, the shepherd boy Kanaka, to explain the matter. Then Kanakadasa replied, Gurudeva, I could not eat the banana. What was your condition? You ordered that you should eat when nobody is watching you. I could not eat the banana in secret because everywhere and at all times my Krishna is watching me. There is no place where the Lord doesn't exist. There is no time when the Lord doesn't watch me. So where can I eat this banana without being witnessed by the Lord? So I couldn't see the greatness. Have we thought? We are doing so much of work thinking that we can hide everything from God. We do so many work secretly. We think so many thoughts secretly, thinking that we will hide it from God. Can you? See now, with this idea, if you think that, yes, God is watching me every time, can you commit any wrong deeds? Can you think any bad thoughts? No. Won't you become a pure person, saner person, a great saint? With this idea that you are the Atman and Atman is always witnessing you. See what wonderful way. After the Lord, I could not eat the banana in secret because everywhere and at all times my Krishna is watching me. After narrating the story, Swatmaramanandaji Maharaj told me, remember, God is always watching you, even when you are asleep. Remember, God is always watching you, even when you are asleep. See? So have this Atman, that is your true nature. Some call it Atman, some you call Krishna, you can call Hanuman, you can call Shiva. Whatever, name is different, that's all. So it's the same thing. So if you keep him, his presence always, that he is watching, just like your father or mother when you were a child, that he is with you. Or like your friend always with you. The Atman, that you are the Atman, he is always watching me as the witness. Then you see how your life changes. How your work quality changes. How you are dealing with others changes. Can you misbehave with anybody when your Lord is watching you? Can you hurt anybody with your rude words? Can you deceive anybody when the Lord is watching you? Veda avinashinam nityam ena majamavyayam katam sapurusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So see how wonderful different aspects of this teaching can be taken, and we can make our life divine and fruitful. So we will end with this, and we will in the next class go to another beautiful verse. I had bought that all the verse and the notes. Wonderful verse. We should always remember this verse. You know why? One great American senator, she was even supposed to stand for the presidentship. In the last moment, she went back. She is practicing Bhagavad Gita in her life. Though she is a born Christian and a white lady, American senator, from her childhood, her parents brought up in Bhagavad Gita teaching. Now, in her younger days, she joined the army, American army. She was sent to fight in Iraq. In Iraq, you know, that terrorist, so-called, the Americans were calling them terrorists, and the Iraqis were calling the Americans as terrorists. That's a different thing. So for the transaction's sake, we have to take somebody as the hero and the other villain. So now the terrorists, the Iraqis were attacking the American soldiers. There was the IED, improvised device, where it will go there, trip, and it will blast. So she was seeing her own friends and other people, their body getting mutilated, body bag flowing to America. So many body bags. All the friends who were there were dying, and the body bag was going, and body was not even in proper shape. Every time the bullets are flying, every time these bombs are blasting. So all were traumatized, and even if they went alive, they were all disturbed mentally. In such a situation, she came out unscathed. She didn't have any trauma, and she tells openly, the video is there. I had played that video so many times. So she tells that this teaching of Bhagavad Gita helped me not to get traumatized. And that is the teaching. Now we are going to get it. What is that? We will chant it. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grunhati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnan anyani sanyati navani dehi. The 22nd verse. Just as a person gives up worn out cloth and puts on other new ones, so also this Atman gives up worn out bodies and attains into other new ones. And what is the other shloka? Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha. The sword cannot cut you. The fire cannot burn you. The water cannot drown you. You are that Atman. Nothing can kill you, destroy you. That is the next verse. So all these verses of Bhagavad Gita helped her to stay not getting traumatized, even though she was seeing everything happening, and in the midst of the battlefield, she could come out without any fear or trauma. And you people are having these verses of Bhagavad Gita, and you are not using it, and you are suffering in your life. What a irony. Keep the Bhagavad Gita in your house covered with what special cloth, sacred cloth, and do agarbatti and arati and offer prasad and do namaskar. Don't read it. Don't practice into your life. So do arati to it. Om mokam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande paramanandamadhavam. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.